right. Let's count the two legs. Give it up for Chris Martin.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am originally from India. It's hot, it's poor, people speak English with a funny accent. Those were my first impressions of the South. But I haven't acclimatized. It was hard at first, though. I remember my first roommate said racism is still a problem in the South, and I thought he was going to describe mobs of people going out and murdering thousands of other people, because that's how we roll in India. But he said sometimes people wake up and open their front door and there's a burning cross on their lawn. And I was like, in India, if I woke up and opened my door and there was a burning cross on my lawn, I would say, holy shit, I have a lawn. Yesterday, this was a mere hallway. How did this happen? And my second reaction would be, I guess there's a pyromaniac Christian on the loose. Or a really flamboyant atheist. Either way, they're good at carpentry. So I got married last year. Thank you. No need to applaud my bravery. Got married. I did a lot of dating before that. I realized my type is women who cry. So I married a woman who cries and likes to watch TV shows in which people get slaughtered by serial killers. Or dragons, one or the other. Somehow not both. I would totally watch a show in which the serial killer turned out to be a dragon, because I would love to see how a dragon killed people surreptitiously. One at a time, in the dark. I mean, if dragons had American Ninja Warrior, that would be American Ninja Warrior for dragons. So, we got any married people in the house? Any couples? Any other married people? Whoa. Any single people in the house? Where are my single people at? Where are my people who met their annual deductible last year? Whoa. Wasn't just me. Where are my people with chronic diseases? Any kind of non-infectious chronic diseases. Any kind. You wonder why I ask. The reason I ask is as an Indian comic, I feel like I'm supposed to joke about how other people suspect I'm a terrorist, but people suspect I'm a doctor. I don't know why they don't suspect I'm a terrorist. Could be my lack of confidence. Maybe I should do some confidence building stuff, public speaking of some kind. I don't know. And I feel like terrorism, it used to be grand. Like terrorists would have these massive projects, and now terrorism is all about driving a vehicle into a crowd of people, so you can't differentiate between a terrorist and a 2-star Uber driver. I know, too soon. Some of you were just taking Uber. So my wife and I were trying to have kids. Which is hard because you have to stop using birth control. And when you're young, they tell you always be cautious, always use birth control. So you listen to them and you do this, and then you're supposed to stop. It's like, imagine you're a safe driver for 20 years. Every time you get in the car, you put on your seatbelt, check the rearview mirror. You do this for 20 years, and one day you're like, fuck it, I'm going to have a head-on collision. You and your wife have to decide how many collisions you're going to have. And you go driving around trying to have this collision, and you just don't have one. And you're like, what happened? Megan had a collision in her own driveway. It's not like we forgot to turn the engine on. We're not that dumb. It's running. You check the oil. Anyway, so I had to stop using condoms, which is odd, because I guess I was in the habit of buying them, so I was at the 7-Eleven the other day, and I went to the cash register, and I pointed at the condoms, and then I realized I didn't need them anymore. So I pointed at something else, and pretended I needed that instead. So I'm smoking again. Anyway, my name really is Chris Martin. I know it's odd, because people who look like me don't normally have a name like Chris Martin. It's also funny because I meet people for the first time and they're like, Chris Martin, that's the same name as the captain of the New Zealand cricket team. And I'm like, yeah, celebrity name. Yeah, but it's also the British rocker, and that runs in my family. My dad's name is Ignatius, so when I was born, he became Iggy Pop. But the way I got my name is I was raised Catholic. Any other Catholics or ex-Catholics in the house? Woo. Give it up for Catholicism. Give it up for Lent. I was Catholic. My parents wanted to name me after the saint on whose day I was born, so I was born on November 22nd, and that turned out to be the feast of Saint Cecilia. So they were a little stuck. So the day before I was born was the feast of Christ the King, so they figured they could lop off the T because it would be irreverent to name me Christ. So that's how I became Chris the King. All right, thank you everyone.